Hello everyone! I've had two major questions on stream so far while checking out the Shadowlands Alpha, and I wanted to dedicate this short video giving an answer to it as far as possible, because the answers are not entirely clear. One of the most asked questions about the Shadowlands has so far been, what exactly happens if you die in the Shadowlands? For us, the player, we are super duper special, and everybody make sure to let us know by calling us Maw Walkers. Get used to that title, as they're going to remind you plenty of times. This is how we earned that status. This is what they said at BlizzCon.
And he and his Death Knights can also help us cross over into that world, to understand what's going on there, and to have a chance at saving our own. And so we will make for Icecrown, we will cross over, and we will end up in the Maw, because that's where everything that goes into the Shadowlands is going. And our journey ends there. It's a really short expansion. Now, that obviously not. So we, heroes of Azeroth, with a unique bond to the world soul of Azeroth herself, find ourselves uniquely able to escape the Maw. Not all who come with us will be able to escape. Some of our friends and great champions of Azeroth will be trapped behind. But we escape, and we move on to Oribos.
Our unique bond to the world soul of Azeroth, which makes you wonder if it's the necklace that's going to play its part in setting us free, or if it's going to be something else. Regardless, our death in the Shadowlands, that looks a little bit different than it does in Azeroth. The grey-toned realm of death with the ambient sounds that's been replaced with a more colorful look. You take a knee for a bit until you find your body again. What is interesting to note is that in Bastion, we can see that the spirit healer is actually one of the Kyrian, which makes total sense, right? They're connected to the origins of the Val'kyr, guiding the spirits of the departed. While in Revendrift, the spirit healer at this point is just the same as we see on Azeroth. I do hope that that is going to change. It would be really cool to see a unique spirit healer for each domain. I don't know about you, but I loved having Bonsandi be the one making fun of me while dying in Zandalar. It would be great to see him make a return in Ardenwald. Hopefully, that is still under development. So safe to say that we are a special case in the Shadowlands. While the creatures native to this realm, they seem to deposit their anima back into the domain. What was born from anima returns to it, the source that sustains this world, its lifeblood. And while there is a shortage, some drastic measures need to be taken to do what we have to do. Makes sense for beings from the Shadowlands to return to their realm. But what about souls that have crossed over? You bring anima with you, your life experience. But does that mean that if you die here, you become anima? What exactly happens when we kill a soul that has crossed over and we're not exactly sure? Could be that it's just poof, you're anima and you go into the Shadowlands, that will be the end of you. No further job or progression or passing on to be made within this domain. But at the same time, who knows, right? For me, it makes the most sense for that to happen, but we're very uncertain. Then, I've also had a lot of questions about the souls from alternate realities and other domains than the world of Azeroth. It is very clear that the Shadowlands, it does not just work for Azeroth. There are beings from all over the cosmos here. That is shown in one of the first quests that we get to test in Bastion, where they ask us from which planet, system, entity, realm, or form of existence we hail from. Quite a banquet of choices from where your spirit can originate from. That does leave the question, what about alternate realities? Are there a million different variants that are running around somewhere? Part of the answer lies in how they explain alternate realities or alternate timelines within the world of Warcraft. There is one that has a permanent effect on the cosmos, which is known as the main timeline, the one that the Bronze Dragons guard. Other timelines can and have popped up, but when left alone, they will eventually dissipate into nothing. However, if efforts are made to preserve or alter them, they can indeed remain in existence indefinitely. Prime example would be alternate Draenor from the expansion Warlords of Draenor. There is at least one which we know has carried on, altered by Garrosh and Kairos Dormu. Not to mention that we partied here, we saw time pass on through alternate Draenor. We recruited the Magar orcs, and while doing so, time has definitely moved on alternate Draenor. More moments has taken place beyond the ones that we played through. So, knowing that, there are quite a lot of characters that we know from our timeline, like Orgrim Doomhammer, their alternate version, they died again within Warlords of Draenor. There were some of the characters that crossed over through the red portal, like our Marat, that died on alternate Draenor. Some of the alternates, like alternate Gul'dan, he crossed over into our reality and then died here, meaning that two separate versions of Gul'dan, they have died in our Azeroth, what we assume to be the main timeline. They really opened up quite a can of worms when they introduced time travel in combination with alternate realities, in combination with certain dimensions transcending all realities. Now with the Shadowlands added to that, the domain where mortal spirits go upon death. It's becoming quite a mess. I would love if they would just make a little section in the Shadowlands, just a small Easter egg where we can see Gul'dan hanging out with himself, contemplating power and the fate that they found themselves in. The answer to the question is quite difficult to find, and I doubt that Blizzard is really going to delve deep into it. One thing that can be said though is a quest that takes us back during Legion, within the Death Knight or the Hall campaign. During that campaign, besides fighting against the Legion, besides making some new Death Knights, ghouls and other creatures connected to undeath, they also needed to make some noble steeds for the new horsemen. Part of that ritual required our followers to journey into the Shadowlands and retrieve 5 unholy essences, known as the Aggregates of Anguish, the essence of Shadow that came from Soulbinder Nyami. You could argue that this is our timeline's Nyami, our version that we've never encountered before, and you might be right. However, there was a little lore nugget that came with the quest, a letter from Exarch Maladar. The letter begins, "Dear Nyami, it is with regret that I must tell you that your son is among those kidnapped by the orcs. We fear the worst." This would explain her reasoning for joining the orcs on alternate Draenor to begin with. Either she was blackmailed, or the worst happened to her child. Then lost with grief, she turned to the dark side and teamed up with the Legion. That's why I will put my money on this being alternate Nyami. It also makes for a far stronger connection to the story that we know, rather than an unknown, unseen Nyami. But it's not certain at this point. Would be pretty cool if they actually invested some time and made a small cameo out of this to get some confirmation. But for now, those have been the 2 major questions that I saw floating by and wanted to dedicate a short video to. So as always, thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, see ya!